I'm calling this meeting to order December 4th, 2024 at 10 a.m. Those present. Yeah, Mayor Tuttle.
Here.
Mary Schroeder,
Present.
and I'm Marie Schmidt.
All right, you want to hand it over to me? You want me to take it from here?
Yes, please.
Thanks. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Casper. I'm a lawyer. I've been retained by the electoral board. I did this the last time as well, so a lot of familiar faces out there. We have 6 cases on the docket today. I'm just going to call them in sort of order. I don't know why they're in this order. That I presume it was random or when they were filed. So don't take any meaning from that, and we'll just call them, go through them, and then we're going to figure out what we're going to do about each of these cases as we go through them. Okay, so the first case is case number 2025 MOEB 1 Corbin versus Kokar. Is anybody here on behalf of Mr. Corbin?
Yes, Tiffany Nelson Jaworski,
Okay,
NELSON-JAWORSKI.
okay. And Mr. Kokar, I see you are here. Do you have an attorney?
No.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Kokar, you have some papers. Did you share this with the objector's lawyer? Thank you. Okay,
And if it may, Mr. Casper, I would like to tender a copy of my appearance both
Yes,
to the
please.
board as well as to Mr. Kokar.
okay, Mr. Kokar, do you have a form, an appearance?
No.
No, okay, will you be sure to provide your email address to Ms. Jaworski?
Right now?
Yes.
Yeah. C M A K 1570 @gmail.com.
Thank you.
If I could just repeat it back, CMAK1570 @gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
Actually, I do not have my copy, so can someone provide me copy?
A copy of what?
My copy.
Oh, this, of your document?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. You can have this.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, Mr. Kokar, hold that for a second. Okay. Ms. Jaworski, will you give us a snapshot of the allegations in the objector's petition?
Yes, first preliminarily, I wanted to confirm the makeup of the electoral board. My understanding is that because the mayor obviously is the subject of the objection, the mayor statutorily would not be on the board. And my understanding is that the second longest and first longest sitting trustees would be on the board, and Ms. Trustee Schroeder, you're the longest sitting trustee, is my understanding. And then I have been informed that Trustee Pojek is actually the second longest sitting trustee, and so I did have a concern as it relates to, and respectfully, Mr. Maritato, it's a statutory thing.
I have this is the first I've heard of this. I don't know anything about it.
So I just wanted to, I guess, express that concern and request that the second longest sitting trustee be seated.
Okay, who's that?
Yeah, he's back here.
Abby Justin.
Oh, okay. Come on up, Chester, you're up.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you made his day. Relieve him of his burden.
All worked out then, huh?
Is the second longest lawyer here? Okay,
Then I'll wait for Mr. Pojek to get settled, and I'll go over the nature of the objection, if you don't mind, Mr. Casper.
Last time fine, doesn't it?
yeah, sure does. So now the board is made up of Chair Schmidt, members Schroeder and Pojek. Could you spell your last name for the court report?
Pojack.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you very much.
proceed.
So today we've had filed a timely objection to Mr. Kokar's nomination papers for a variety of reasons. It is mostly a signature-based objection. But within that signature-based objection, there is also an allegation related to a pattern of fraud. We have submitted an affidavit of Azim Hussein, who had stated that that it was actually not his signature on the petition of Mr. Kokar, yet his signature appears on the petition of Mr. Kokar. So he's saying that somebody else signed his signature, it was not him. So if that allegation is in fact sustained, I would argue that that fact of somebody forging that signature and that all the petitions were in fact circulated by Mr. Kokar, I would say that that would be enough evidence to sustain a pattern of fraud, stating that Mr. Kokar engaged in some sort of fraud while he was engaging in the circulation process, thereby invalidating basically all of his petitions, because if memory serves me correct, I believe he circulated all of his petitions.
Okay,
So we do have a signature line by line objection as well as a pattern of fraud allegation against circulated Kokar.
okay. So you would request a records examination to
Yes,
examine the signatures? Okay. Mr. Colcar, do you have any objection to that?
Number one, I have objection on the meaning of the board, all these people are vice. And I will see if they follow your instruction today, that's fine. Then I do not have any objection. Number two, all these signature, I got by myself in person from door to door, and I had electoral sheet with me. And I went to that house, I believe probably that house is located at here. Sheet number 29. Yes. There were two names from my voters list by Page County. One is Mona Hussein. Other is Azim Hussein. I went to that house. Mona was there. She signed my petition. Then there was other person. Probably.
Mr. Colcar, I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. What you're saying right now is evidence, right? You're testifying about what happened.
Yeah.
And you haven't been placed under oath. So,
Okay.
so we'll get to that.
Oh.
But here's what, first of all, you filed the document. Could I see the document?
Which one?
I gave mine to Mr. Colcar. Okay. So, Mr. Worski, you received a copy of Mr. Colcar's file, correct?
Yes, it appears to me.
An answer, right, correct. I agree with that. And Mr. Colcar, in your answer, you're responding to the complaints made against your nominating petition. Right. And she's saying, for example, this person is not a registered voter. And you're saying, yes, they are. So we're gonna sort that all out at a hearing later. Ms. Jaworski, I don't believe the rules provide for you to respond to an answer, so we'll just take the answer for what it is.
Yes, that's fair.
So I think the next thing that happens is we need to. Here. There you go. I think the next thing. Ready? Okay, no problem. The next thing that we need to do is we need to recess this case, refer the matter to the county clerk, who will investigate whether or not the people who signed your petitions are registered voters at the addresses that they put on the petition. And then we'll come back and we'll see where we are and determine whether or not we need to go any further. You may come back with more than a sufficient number of signatures and the case will be over. You may come back and have significantly less than the minimum number and the case could be over. Or it could be close and then we'll fight about it. Okay?
And other thing is that even whatever is alleged by Matthew Carbon, in this case objector, even if we, which is not correct, but even if we do that, still my valid number according to Matthew are more than and
I
be
see.
on top.
Okay, so you're suggesting that if every signature that Mr. Corbin challenged, he was correct about, you'd still have a sufficient number.
Yes.
All right, well, let's examine.
If-
How
if I-
many,
if I may-
how many,
If I may.
wait,
use-
wait,
okay,
wait.
Sorry.
what is the minimum number of signatures for the office?
The minimum number of signatures, I believe, double check my objection here. Hundred eighty-seven,
Minimum.
I'm sorry, 102. That is correct.
102, do you agree,
I
Mr.
agree.
Coker? All right, so we're agreed that
We need your also over here, because in.
oh, hold on. We're agreed, the minimum number is 102, correct?
No, we need.
I believe I'm
need your
double-
direction.
I'm double
I need your
checking.
direction.
No, I want to know if you two agree that the minimum number.
I mean, I need your direction.
Okay. Okay, I mean, do you have an opinion as to how many signatures you need?
There are two propositions. Number one, in 2021 elections, I got 475 votes, and second person got 473 votes. So if we, for the present, 475, 473, so total is 948. This is one proposition. Second proposition is the total vote cast in that subdivision for clerk plus president,
Okay.
according to our this attorney, sorry, I have to put what's your name?
Tiffany Nelson Jaworski.
Tiffany. Miss Tiffany, they were 2,300. How many are? So you put on that, 2,000.
Mr. Cole.
I agree that the
Mr.
signature requirement is 102.
Okay, Mr. Coker. How many signatures do you believe you need? I don't want to hear the formulas.
Okay.
What's your answer?
Okay,
Do you have an answer?
according to Miss Tiffany, I
No,
need.
I want to know according to you.
There are two propositions, if we go.
I don't want to know the propositions. Do you have a number? If you don't have a number, just, that's fine. You don't need to have a number, but if you have one, I want to know what it is.
I will go with Miss Stephanie 102. That's it.
Under two, okay.
Yeah.
So how many did you submit?
I submitted 187.
187. Okay. Do you agree with that, Ms. Schwartz?
Yes,
Okay, how many signatures have been objected to on at least one ground?
59 signatures.
59. So 187 minus 59 is
Yeah.
greater than 102.
Correct. But,
Here, I have objections.
Hold on. Okay,
but we do have the pattern of fraud allegation, and if the pattern, so that this objection is definitely dependent upon the pattern of fraud allegation.
okay.
And we actually have two pattern of fraud allegations, one related to whether a circulator was actually the circulator, and that was Mr. Samir Ajerma, because his name was written first on the circulator's affidavit and then struck by, and then Mr. Kokar's name was written on there, so that was a little suspicious. We have some concerns about that. And then as stated, we do have an affidavit from Mr. Azim Hussein, who says that he did not in fact sign Mr. Kokar's petition.
Should I respond?
Now it's your turn.
Number one, she is not objector, Put 59 signature, and I added those are not 59, those are less than 59. Objector can explain that, Ms. Stephanie, those are not 59. According to
You
this,
think it's some number less than 50.
less than.
But then for purposes of this discussion, that doesn't matter all that.
Yeah,
Okay,
so.
okay. All right, I think I understand. Okay,
One is 58, not
Okay.
59.
here's what I think we should do. I think we should refer this matter to the county clerk to determine exactly how many valid signatures are on the candidate's petition. That number is going to be somewhere between 187, 100 and my math is not so good, 128 and 187. Somewhere in between there. And then Mr. Jaworski is gonna attempt to convince you that certain other signatures should be reduced, which will have the effect of getting Mr. Kokar below the minimum of 100. It will be a tall order, based on what I've heard so far, but she's made the allegation, she has the right to correct it. Okay, so I think that's what we should do. Do we have any idea how long this could take with the county clerk's office?
From last time with the county clerks, if memory serves me correct, it was, I think we continued it about a week. Because DuPage doesn't run as quickly as.
Okay. All right, so should we come back a week from today?
It's a part of that, you know. I have a part of them, not 59, 58, and I have 187
Right,
vote. If we reduce by 58, which is numerical mistake now by objector, it still is 17, 9. I have 129, correct?
correct,
Correct?
correct,
According to them. But
correct.
So
Correct.
over here, I have one more. There is one sheet, sheet 23, sorry, 13. In that sheet, that was what happened. I went in person at their address.
Hold on, Mr. Kokar, again, you're about to testify about what happened. Right?
Yeah, these are
Yeah,
factual.
right, this is not the time for that.
Okay,
We'll do that next week,
okay,
okay?
okay.
All right? And if you have any witnesses that you'd like to bring in, you can do that next week, as long as you share them with Ms. Jaworski. You tell them who you tell her who you're gonna bring, okay? She's giving you her appearance with her email address on it.
No.
You have to tell her who you're gonna bring in, if you're
I
gonna
mean,
ask anyone to
We can
testify.
resolve, this is just numerical facts, you know, and we can resolve the day.
Yeah, you need to prove it.
Yeah, I have to, that this, on 13, they objected, sheet 13, that was circulated by some other, so that guy, on that address, you know, his name is, Samir Ajmeri.
Okay,
By mistake, he put his signature down where I was supposed to put sign a signature, I mean, my name, not signature, my name. By mistake, he put his name over here, but he then realized he put a wrong face sign at the top.
again, you're telling us what happened,
Yeah,
right? And this is not the time for that.
yeah. I mean, we can do today, you know, I mean,
No, we can't, because we don't know what number, we need a target number first. And that's if, for example, let's say you come back after we review the signature and you have 180 signatures. Okay? Mr. Jaworski says, if I get everything I want, I can prove that 79 more are not valid. And you win by 1, and we don't have to go through any.
Yes. Another, I tell you one thing, I went in
I know
person.
you're telling us what happened again,
I went,
third time.
I went in person to DuPage Election Commission and I compared those signatures, these are compared signatures, number one. Number two, there were some signature, their computer, they did not put on the computer, you know, record. And I talked with DuPage Election Commission, they said there are
Okay.
over 3,000
Okay,
voters, registered voter, we have not put on the record.
okay, so we are gonna come back here a week from today, 10 AM,
Okay.
convenient for you, Mr. Jaworski?
Unfortunately, I do have another hearing in, another village at 10 AM. I could do.
Oh, I do too. Think about
It's a busy time of year for us, huh?
How's Tuesday?
Tuesday, I'm actually good. I've got a hearing at 4 PM Tuesday, so morning on Tuesday is open for me.
Tuesday next week convenient for the 4th? Okay,
Okay, Mary, it's not good for Mary.
okay, no.
And change it.
Yeah, I'll have to try to change it, yeah.
Well, let me.
Mary, I can't be here either, so if I have to be recalled too, Tuesday, I'm in a conference all day.
Okay. Well, then why don't we do this?
Mr. Casper.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we come back in 2 weeks? We'll do it on the 16th,
Monday the 16th?
Monday, the 16th.
No. Monday is 16. What day is 16 December?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that 10 o'clock, Monday, the 16th, and everybody, we're gonna shoot to do all these on the same day if we can.
Mr.
That convenient for everybody?
Mr. Casper's, again, my request is, I mean, according to the objector, whatever they have, if we follow whatever they say, still I have more than.
I know, I heard you. Okay, so,
Mr. Casper, just as a point of order, could we set a, evidence and
Yes.
exchange deadline 24 hours before?
yes. So what Mr. Jaworski is proposing is that if either side intends to present any evidence at the next hearing, they have to share it with each other the day before so that there's no surprises. It's not like on TV where you just show up.
Right.
Gotcha. So do you understand that, Mr. Kokar? Okay, so we're gonna have an evidentiary hearing December 16th at 10 a.m. Mr. Kokar, you said that you are taking my direction.
Yes,
Think about whether or not you would like to involve a lawyer to help you get your evidence.
I
That's
know,
all. That's all. You don't have to.
Mr. Casper, I wrote my bar, at least 20 times.
Okay. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Jaworski?
No, nothing's right.
Okay, Mr. Kokar?
Yes.
Anything further? Okay, all right, then we'll be back here. I will take charge of delivering the materials to the county. Records examiner, we'll let you know when that's going to happen. We don't know yet. It's not up to us. Okay, anything further? All right, thank you. All right, next case.
Okay, now, can I sit on the board or not?
Yeah,
Because
For the next case, no, we can not, because it's another.
yeah, that's another mayoral case. No, and then the four are trustee cases, so you're on the board.
Oh.
So then you can take my
Okay.
advice.
I have not got respect for it.
Russ,
Okay,
you want Pat back up here?
no, not yet.
Okay.
I don't think he's up here at all. I think the mayor's. Okay, the next case is case number 2025 MOEB 2, where the objector is Corbin and the respondent is Pope. Mr. Pope here? All right, Mr. Pope, come on up. You're up. Okay. Okay, this is case number MOEB 02 on behalf of the objector.
Tiffany Nelson Jaworski, NELSON hyphen JAWORSKI.
And for the candidate,
Edward Pope,
will you spell your last name?
POP.
Okay, Mr. Pope, you have a lawyer?
I do not.
Okay, are you proceeding without one at this point?
Yes.
Okay, if you change your mind, get a lawyer, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jaworski, could you give us a snapshot of this case?
Yes, this is also a classic signature line by line objection. And in addition to the signature line by line objection in paragraph 12, we do have a priority of signature objection, which means that a signer or two signers rather, specifically the Novellis, or Noviellis, Tim and Lino Novielli, have stated and signed affidavits and submitted affidavits that they actually signed the petitions of Mike Octaveros first before they signed the petition of Edward Pope. So under the election code, you can't have dual signatures. You can't sign one person's petitions for the same office and then sign another one, especially since there's not multiple, it's not there's not multiple trustee spots, this is just one mayoral spot, so you can't. These individuals can't have dual signing. So given all of that, if all the signature objections were in fact sustained, Mr. Pope, by my calculation, submitted 121 signatures. If all the objections were sustained, 34 of the signatures would be lost, bringing them down to a total of 87 signatures below the minimum. And that is not in addition to the 2 signatures from the Noviellis. If those 2 are also discounted, it would bring them down to 85.
Can I start clarification on that though? When I talked to the election board, they said, I did talk to Marie, who said she did say, you were supposed to only sign one person's affidavit, but when I was at the election board, because we were being told, yes, you can, no, you can't, yes, you can. I talked to the election board. They said that anyone can sign anyone's petitions. That's from the election board, but they said that because you're not voting. So they said you can sign for anyone you want. And I got this from the election board. So I do have, I don't discount what she said. I do have, because they actually put notes in their objections to some, and I didn't know some of the people had already signed other people's, obviously. But the election board said that you can do that. So do you have a clarification on that?
The state board of elections says you may sign one petition for one candidate.
That's what you said, but the county said the opposite.
It's in writing. It's in writing. The problem is it's like talking to the IRS. You get different answers all the time, depending on who you talk to at the election board.
Well, because it was so vague,
Right.
there's so many people saying different things, so I actually asked the county.
Let me interject. Regarding Ms. Jaworski's map, do you agree with the map?
But yes,
So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna refer this to the county clerk's office, who will go through these allegations that Ms. Jaworski's made. The person's not a registered voter,
okay.
whatever, okay?
Mhm.
We'll sort that out. It's just because there's only 2 where she alleges that the person signed for somebody else, it's very unlikely to make a difference. But if it does, then we'll fight about it then.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
Fair enough?
Yes.
All right. The law on this is clear. So you might want to think about consulting for it. If it comes to that, okay?
Sure.
So we'll do the same thing. We'll reconvene back here at 10 o'clock on the 16th. Anything further, Mr. Jaworski?
Nothing further.
Mr.
Thank you.
Pope?
No, all right,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good luck to you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're out.
I'm out. Thank you.
You're fired.
Chester.
Not to my next submission.
Oh, you don't represent me. Oh, I see.
Yeah. For the day here.
Okay.
I get to go to Orland Township.
Was that O'Grady?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, no, the mayor, you're up. Oh, no problem.
Thank you. Should be interesting.
That's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yes. We grab the documents. Pope is MKYM. Will be on.
Great.
Oh, there is.
Right, okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jim, are you gonna need copies of anything from me?
I don't think so. If I do, I'll file it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You heard
Coffee is coming.
I'm gonna call, hey, I'm gonna call you. All right.
About the other thing?
Yeah. Is Mr. Viacon here?
Okay, yeah, give me a call.
Mrs.
Mrs., okay, come on up, step up. And the next case is, Lopez? Yeah, come on up, Ms. Lopez. You're over there and you're here, you're the objector, so you guys switch sides, I'll be right back.
Carlo Lopez, LBZ. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. All right, ready? Okay. For this case, this is case number 2025 MOEB 03. The chair of the board in this case is Mr. Kokar, who is the village president. Yes, village president, and then Ms. Schroeder and Ms. Schmidt are on the board. Okay,
Can I object?
can you object?
Yes, so I would like to make an objection for Ms. Mary Schroeder to sit on this case for the conflict of interest due to Ms. Lopez and Ms. Schroeder living at the same address. So if we can have a different trustee
Okay.
due to the conflict of interest, please.
If you'd like to object to the makeup of the board, then Okay, what, okay, what's the name, just because they live at the same address?
Correct, it will
Okay.
present a conflict of interest.
Okay. Ms. Lopez, do you have a response?
I don't think it would present a conflict of interest.
What's the same address?
What do you-
What is it? Is it a house? Is it
Yeah.
an apartment building?
It's a house.
Okay, and do you have any financial dealings?
What do you mean?
Like, do you pay rent? You, is there a financial relationship between you?
No,
No, there's not.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
To my understanding, Ms. Schroeder and Ms. Lopez are related to each other.
not that way. We're not.
okay. Ms. Schroeder, do you feel
Yes.
that you can sit and deliberate on this case without being biased?
Can I,
Can you rule on the case fairly?
I think I can rule fairly.
Okay, well, the rules are, the law determines who's on the board. And it says that if there's a conflict, if the candidate is seeking the same office that you are, the conflict, that's what happened to Mr. Colcar, that's why he was not on the case against Mr. Cole. Or if you have a direct financial interest in the outcome of the case. And since that's not the case either, there's no evidence of that. I think that Ms. Schroeder can sit on the board and is not statutorily precluded. Okay? All right, so, Ms. Viacon, am I pronouncing that?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Viacon, could you explain the nature of your objections in this case?
So I filed a timely, objection to this petition, due to a couple of reasons. Both are stated in the objection, first one being, that the petition does not have enough signatures. The requirement is minimum of 25. The petition, turned in had only 20 signatures. And, section 8 of my objection states that the pages of the petition should be numbered consecutively. Neither one of those were followed, and the election code was not followed.
Do we have the petition
I didn't have them down here.
I have the petition.
Oh, you have a copy? Can I see a copy? All right, Miss, I'm sorry, are you finished, Ms. Viacon? Okay, Ms. Lopez, do you have a response?
Yeah, I went to talk with the mayor and I did talk to the trustees. I asked them how many signatures I would need. I was told that I needed, between 4 to 8% of 34 for, votes, which is what Schroeder got for last election. So under that math, I was under the impression that I only needed like 8 votes, so I went with 20 votes just to be safe. I didn't know I needed the 25. If I had known that I needed the 25, believe me, I would have gotten them.
Okay, do you, as you sit here today, do you dispute that 25 is the minimum number?
Yes.
You do, okay, okay, fair enough. Okay, I think that I'm sorry, you agree that your petitions contain a total of 20 signatures?
Yes.
Okay. And it also does not appear that there are numbers at the bottom of the page.
I'm gonna be
Agreed.
honest, I did not know that we had to do that.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
It's
Okay.
not like, when they gave you the packet, they didn't give you like a how to fill it out.
Okay. I don't think there's any need to have an evidentiary hearing on this. I mean, either the number is 25 or the number is less than 25, the minimum number. And I believe, I'd like to confirm this, I believe that the number is 25. I believe the election code applies that you do the calculation that you did.
Yeah.
But then the next sentence says, but in no event shall it be less than 20, I think. And, if that's the case, then, your petition is insufficient and there's nothing that I or the board or anybody can do. But we fought about that 4 years ago, all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ruled that if you don't have the minimum number, even by one, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
And so I think what we should do is we should, take this matter under advisement and we'll issue a decision in 2 weeks when we come back. Okay, all right. If you'd like to submit anything in furtherance of that, let me know. Just exchange emails with each other and make sure you share it with the other side and with me. Okay, all right?
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, I could still file like a petition to be a writing candidate, can
That, I'm sorry, I cannot give you legal.
I?
I'm not your lawyer.
Yeah.
So I think we'll do that then, and so we'll just take this matter under advisement and, I will draft up a proposed answer. Once I get the answer, I want to confirm that my understanding. If that's the case, then we'll just issue a decision. 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
All right, thank you,
Thank you.
best of luck. Okay, Ms. Biancan, you're still here. The next case is Biancan versus Staffa, Staffa. Anybody here for candidate Staffa?
He works in the school and maybe 30,000, I don't know.
Okay, is Biancan, are all of your objections, are they for the same office?
Yeah.
Okay, and what office is that?
It's village trustee, District 6.
District 6, boy, a lot of people want this job.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Biancan, can you explain to us briefly what the nature of this objection is?
Yes, so for this particular petition, there's a couple things I am challenging on here. First one is that the, election code states that each sheet shall contain above the space for signature an appropriate heading giving the information as to name of the candidate or candidates in whose behalf such petition is signed. The objection further states that, specifically the petition sheets 1 and 3 designated the candidate's name as John L. Staffa, whereas petition sheet 2 designates the name as John Staffa. The election code does not permit a candidate to use multiple names for non-native petition. Further, I am challenging 3 signatures from the petition. Now, page number 3 of the petition consists 2 signatures, line 2 and 3 of the voters that are not in the district. And page 1 of the petition contains 1 signature of the voter that is not in the district. That would be line 6.
Okay,
All of that, Mr. Staffa turned in total of 26 signatures. If the page 2 is eliminated due to the header not following the election code, that would put him down to 20. If the 3 signatures are removed, it would still be not sufficient,
okay,
of the 25.
I understand, okay. So, do we have any evidence of service on Mr. Staffa?
Yeah.
No. We do?
Yes.
All right, okay, can we see it?
I go upstairs and get it.
Okay. So, Ms. Biancan.
Yes,
Your first allegation is that in some petitions he used his middle initial and some he didn't.
correct.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a copy?
Yeah.
This is your copy. Mine are in. And could you tell me the three that you're challenging in your second allegation?
Yes, so petition page 1, signatures line 6.
Okay.
And petition number 3, signature line 2 and 3.
On what basis?
They do not belong to District 6, they are
They're-
under,
You're outside of the.
outside of the district.
Okay,
One District 4 and one District 3, or 2 district.
Got it. okay. Can you give me your address where I can reach you?
191 East Stevenson Drive. But
Okay, I'm holding a document that's been tendered to the board for proof of service to John L. Staffa at 1936 Chippendale Lane, which is the address on the nominating petition. He was served with notice of the hearing on November 27th at 2:02 p.m. So he has been given notice of that. So I think that the next item of business, could we make this proof of service part of the record? The next thing we ought to do is, the objector has made allegations that 3 of the candidates' signatures come from voters who live outside of the district. And if that turns out to be correct, that would render the candidate below the statutory minimum number of signatures of 25. I presume you don't have any evidence to present about that today?
do you have the district map?
Okay, now the map wouldn't be admissible. So anyway, so I think we should refer this matter out to the county clerk and let them see if you're right or you're wrong about those 3 allegations. We'll determine the case. So we'll come back on this one at the same time, okay? All right? And I will notify, I need to get your contact information.
Okay.
So that I can notify you as to when that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay, so could you, make sure to give me your email address for the next? All right, great. All right, the next case is case number 2025 MOEB number 5, Viacon v. Folks, Fowlkes. Anybody here for Mr. Folks? Come on up, step up, Mr. Folks. Okay, Ms. Viacon, will you please identify yourself?
Yes, Lorima Viacon. I live at 191 East Stevenson Drive, Glendale Heights, Illinois.
Okay, and for the candidate?
Randall Folks,
Okay,
Fowlkes.
okay, Mr. Folks, do you have a lawyer?
I do not.
Do you intend to proceed without one at this point?
At this juncture, yes,
Okay, if that changes, please just let us know.
definitely.
Okay, Ms. Viacon, will you please give us a snapshot of this objection?
So for this objection, I am challenging that the nominating petitions and the statement of candidacy do not have the same name across as dictated by the election code. I also, so specifically the statement of candidacy designates the names as Randall Lee Fowlkes, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the last name.
It's pronounced Folks.
Folks, okay. Read the petition, she designated the candidate's name as Randall L. Folks. Either Randall L. Folks did not file any signatures or, Randall Lee Folks did not file the statement of candidacy.
Okay, is that it? The entirety of the objection? Do you agree, Mr. Folks, that's the entirety of the objection?
I think that sums it up.
Is, you can, may I see the copy of that?
Of Mr. Folks'
Yes.
petition.
Thank you. Okay, would you, anybody else want to? The gist of the complaint is that, and his name is described as Randall Lee, or Randall is Randall, Lee, Folks, on his statement of candidacy. On his nominating petitions, his name is identified as Randall L. Folks. So the difference is between L and Lee. Is that a fair characterization, Ms. Beaver? Okay, all right, and Mr. Folks, do you agree that my description of the gist of the case is accurate?
As described, yes.
Okay, all right. Does anyone have any questions for?
May I say?
Sure. Yes. Okay, I think that we don't need to have and refer this to the election authority for review of the signatures. There are no challenges to the signatures. The objection stands or falls on whether or not the allegation about using the middle name in the statement of candidacy and the middle initial in the petitions is in some way violative of the election code, such that it would invalidate Mr. Folks' nominated petitions. Now, the election code does provide, Ms. Viacon, you are correct, the election code provides that the heading of each of the candidates nominating petitions has to be the same. And it is, I've looked through them, they're all the same, they all say Randall L. Folks. So Mr. Folks' nominating petitions comply with that requirement. The statement of candidacy differs from the petitions by spelling out the name Lee rather than having an L. So there's two things that need to, as a threshold matter. The board has to decide whether or not that matters, whether or not there's a legal consequence. If we decide that it does matter, then there could be evidence taken right now. Is this you? Is this your middle name? Did you write this yourself? Why is there a difference? All of that, those are facts. It's my opinion that this is not a sufficient basis for an objection. That the petitions are the same. Every voter who signed the petition was presented with the name Randall L. Folks. I think spelling out your middle name on a petition does not render it invalid. My middle name is James. If I put J on my petition and James in the state of Kansas, I don't think that's a legitimate basis to disqualify someone from running. Especially given the fact that the Illinois Supreme Court has repeatedly told us that boards like ours should
24 bet.
be cognizant that here, the ballot access is something to be favored. It's not to be taken away lightly, and I think this doesn't meet the threshold. I don't think we even need to take any evidence on this one. And that a motion to overrule the objection.
I move we overrule the objection.
I have no problem with it,
No problem.
no problem.
All right, somebody needs to second the motion.
Second.
All right, let's have a roll call.
Mayor Culver,
Overruled.
Yes. Yes, well, yes.
trustee Schroeder,
Saying yes means it's approved.
Yeah.
Yes.
and I vote yes.
Okay, so, Mr. Folks, you've survived. Okay.
Appreciate it.
The next thing that happens is the election code requires the board to issue its ruling in person, in writing, which we will do 2 weeks from today. You do not need to attend. You're certainly welcome to. If not, we'll just mail you a copy.
If my schedule permits, I will be here.
Okay, great. Okay. Ms. Biacon, anything further on this one?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Folks, you're
Thank
free to
you.
go.
And I'd just like to say, I appreciate your attention to detail. I trust that the board would make the right decision. I am Randall Lee Folks. I do not go by Randall Lee Folks. If I spell out anything on a legal document, it's Randall L. Folks. It's the guidance and the paperwork that causes these issues to come up. But again, I trust the system. You
Mr.
know,
Folks, if they're buying, you should stop selling.
No. Just saying I'm not selling anything else. I just wanted, I appreciate the attention to detail. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you very much. All right,
Good luck.
next, finally, case number,
Yeah, no, he's finished. Yes.
the next case is Biacon versus Barton. Anybody here, the candidate in this case? You identify yourself, sir?
Tom Barton?
Are you the candidate, Mr. Barton?
I,
All right, Barton is Barton. Mr. Barton, do you intend to proceed without a lawyer?
yes,
Okay, if that changes, will you please let us
I'll
know?
let you know.
Okay, Ms. Biacon, what's this one all about?
Alright, so Ms. Barton, there's several things in here. So, the first one would be that the last two pages, so pages, I'm assuming 3 and 4, are not consecutively numbered. So I'm asking for those signatures to be stricken out. Further, sheets 1 and 2, names vary. The top says, I mean, you can take a look.
Okay.
So right over here, we have several different names. And then the signature on sheet 1, line 10, that obviously-
Let's go back to the second one on the names.
Yeah, so sheet 1 and 2 of the candidates, the petition gives 2 names for the candidate. The top states James Thomas Barton, as well as Tom Barton.
Oh, I see, okay. Okay. And then that's missing from the last 2 pages, from the last, how many pages are we talking about? 4. Okay. Mr. Barton, it appears that your nominating petitions are going the order in this packet that I have been handed. 2 and then 1, and then there are 2 that are not numbered. Do you agree with that? I mean, is that factually accurate?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
I'm,
Yes.
yes, okay, all right, so we're agreed that the nominating papers There are 4 pages. One is number 2, that's the first one. One is number 1, which is the second one, and 2 are unnumbered. Agreed? Ms. Viacon?
Yeah.
Mr. Barton, agreed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, got it? All right. So, and then the next allegation is that on two of the sheets, the candidate's name is identified as Tom Barton, and on all the sheets in the box. But above there on 2 of the sheets is written the word Thomas Barton appears to be above the introductory paragraph. Does everybody see that? Okay. And so, Ms. Viacon, you're alleging that addition up here, or I'm identifying it, renders those sheets legally insufficient.
So it's not per election code where the name has to match the headers, and it doesn't.
Okay,
You have-
okay.
It could
Okay.
actually be two
Got
different people.
Okay, now by my count, there are 40 signatures, maybe 39.
Alright.
Total on the page.
So,
Wait, let's see what we agree on before we
Okay.
can get to what we disagree on. Do you agree with that?
possibly 39, I agree, yes.
Yes. Mr. Bart,
There's 39 on there.
39. So we're all gonna agree that the scratch out doesn't count.
And I was gonna put my wife down, but, she already signed.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. So the numbers 39 and 40. Okay, so we have the page numbering, we have the additional writing on the piece of paper. Is there anything else?
That would be it.
Okay, great. Do you agree that that's it?
Yes.
Okay, so we have 2 issues to decide. The first issue is the page number. Now, the election code says the pages have to be numbered. It doesn't say that they have to be consecutively numbered or in ascending numeric order. They just say number, which is kind of weird, but that's what it says. And so I don't think the order, you could start at 100 and go down to 1 if you wanted to. I'm not sure why anybody would do that, but I'm not sure why anybody would 2 and then 1. I don't think that's of legal consequence. I think the fact that the 2 appears on top of 1 is not, it does not invalidate the petition.
Well, let me just clarify. I'm not challenging the order. I'm
All
just challenging the last.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. The next question, which is a dispositive, is the 2 unnumbered pages. The law says, and the 2 unnumbered, if they are invalid, then that would reduce the total number of 39 by,
19.
no, the one that's with your wife's scratch out is numbered, so that's not, it would reduce it by 20. Which would then render it below the statutory minimum of 20. So this is the whole deal. The law on this question is clear as an oversight. A petition that is unnumbered is invalid. I think the law is very clear. So if you submit a petition and you fail to number any pages, the nominating petitions are ruled invalid, and that's been the law for decades. If a petition is misnumbered, it is not invalid. So if you have 100 pages and you forget 59, you go from 58 to 60, you know, people make mistakes. And so the law is pretty clear on that. And so the law is also, there are also cases that stand for the proposition that when there's a very few number of signature sheets, even if they're unnumbered, they could still be ruled out. I think there was one that involved 4 sheets, but that is not relevant here because 2 of the sheets are numbered. So the question is, in a petition where some of the sheets are numbered, are 2 sheets that are unnumbered valid or invalid? I don't think it disqualifies the entire petition. So not all 4 sheets are invalid. The question is whether the 2 unnumbered. And it's my opinion that the 2 unnumbered sheets are valid. And in this instance, and that the failure to number all of the sheets does not render the sheets valid. And because there are no allegations against the signatures individually, that the candidates nominating petitions probably should be, not probably, should be permitted. And that this objection should be overruled as well. That's my opinion. If anybody, but it's up to you.
I believe.
What would you like?
I think, I would recommend that there be a motion to overrule the objection.
I overrule the objection.
Second.
Hi,
So even though the law states that they have to be numbered?
Correct. The law states a lot of things. And so I'll explain.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fair enough. I'll give you an explanation.
Thank you.
The law says a lot of things about what has to go into these petitions. And the question is, what happens when you fail to comply? In some instances, the failure to comply renders the petition invalid. But some other things don't, meaning if it's not a real, I don't want to say it's not a serious violation, but it's more of a technicality than it is an egregious violation. And so let me give you an example. The election is April 1st, right?
Yes.
April 1st, 2025. Let's say the candidate put April 1st, 2024. You know, we all do that, you know, on your checks, you still write 2024 well into February, right? At least I do. You know, people make that mistake, but everybody knows that he's not trying to get his name on the ballot for an election that on a date that's already happened. So the court would say, or the election board would say, you know, it's a typo. You know, I've had cases where people mixed up the address. You know, instead of 1809, they write 1890. And on their own address, you know, and the courts have said, well, you know, that's close enough. So not everything is fatal, you know, not every defect. Like, for example, if you don't put north or south, in Chicago, everybody lives on a north or south street, or an east or west street. If you fail to put the directional, does that render it invalid? And the courts have said, no, it doesn't. If you abbreviate the city, you know, instead of Glendale Heights, you put G period, H period, is that okay? You don't live in GH, you live in Glendale Heights. So what a court would say, well, you know, that's close. So in this instance, I think my suggestion is that this is close enough. That's what I'm saying. This fits into that category rather than the like, let me give you another example. If Mr. Barton had put, I'm seeking the office of President of the United States. Because you can't seek President of the United States from the 6th ward. Well, that might have had a
I
more serious.
understand, but my understanding is also that the most fatal mistake on a petition is not numbering pages.
Correct, as I said, if the petition was completely unnumbered, then there is precedent that would render it invalid. But like I said, there's also a case, or several cases, that stand for the proposition when there's only a few sheets, even if they're complete, we're still valid. And this one is not that case. I'm not aware of any case where a court or an electoral board has ruled that where some of the sheets are numbered and others are not, it's invalid. And I've never seen the court or an electoral board just take out the unnumbered ones. I've never seen that. It's all or nothing with the numbering. So that's a better way to look at it. If it's nothing, then it could render it invalid. If it's, but that doesn't mean it has to be all. It's good unless it's not. That's a better one. Right. My understanding. Okay. Yeah, you certainly free to disagree with me.
Oh, and I.
Yeah, you could certainly appeal the board's rule. And I don't think, the other thing, just for the record, this superfluous writing of the name, I don't think that's what that's all about. Well, maybe it's like when you're in school, you write your name without the homework or something. I don't think that is of legal consequence. Anything further on this one, Ms. Peter?
No.
Mr. Barton? All right, same thing is gonna happen. I'll write up a written report for the board members to sign when we come back. Okay? All right,
Thanks,
thank you. Best of luck.
appreciate you.
Yay.
And that, all right, next, we have public comment. Okay. Anybody want to make a public comment? All right, then I think we can recess until 10 a.m. on the 16th. Yeah, you can have. Right, thank you for letting me use
Well, if I leave next time.
it.
I know where you're driving.
Yeah, right.
I know where you're driving.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.